Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashta Prayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtuki. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumtam Yena Tasmai Shri Grave Namaham. So Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you so much for joining the Zoom call today. Last week we started chapter 16, um, entitled How Maharaj Parikshit received the age of Kali. Um, so hopefully, let me close a couple of windows here, and I should be able to find the right one. Oops, not that one. Okay. So, chapter 16, entitled How Maharaj Parikshit Received the Age of Kali. So we discussed until the up to text 16. So the summary was that Maharaj Parikshit was enthroned by Maharaj Yudhishthir, and Parikshit Maharaj was ruling so nicely as a great devotee of the Lord under the direction and the instruction of Brahmanas. He had a spiritual master, and Brahmanas were guiding him. Brahmanas means who know the truth, who know the scriptural injunctions thoroughly. And so he used to perform the various sacrifices as well. And while, on his way to conquer the world, he saw Kali Yuga, who was lower than a Shudra and disguised himself as a king. What was he doing? Hurting the legs of cow and bull. So Prabhupada says repeatedly in this chapter, throughout this chapter, Kali Yuga means hurting cows and bulls. That is simple as that, Kali Yuga. And that's why you see so many slaughterhouses. But in those days, administrator, king, Parikshit, as the ruler and the administrator of the whole world, did he keep quiet? When he saw someone hurting the legs of cow and bull, he didn't do so. He just immediately caught hold of this person and gave sufficient punishment. And this is how a ruler should be. Nowadays, the rulers actually encourage uh, the slaughterhouse process of slaughterhouse, cow and bull killing. Um, and hearing this, Shaunaka, the head of the sages, said, "Oh, Sutta Goswami, Maharaj Parikshit, why did he only gave him punishment to that Shudra? Why did he not kill him? Because he was hurting cows and bull. Please tell if it is relates to the topics of Lord Krishna." So anything relating to Krishna, we can hear and discuss. And he says that the devotees, they are not interested in any matter if that is not of any relevance to the Krishna and Krishna Katha. Um, so after that, Suta Goswami said that while Maharaj Parikshit was residing in his capital, the age of Kali started to infiltrate. Um, so this age of Kali means, we discussed last time that four principles are predominated. Hmm? Meat eating, illicit relationship, gambling, and intoxication. Mm. And we can see this is it, isn't it? We see this day in and day out in everywhere. These four things, they are very much prevalent. And but when Maharaj Parikshit noted the symptoms of Kali Yuga in his kingdom, did he keep quiet? No. He says, gave him a chance to fight. He fought. He took up his bow and arrows and prepared himself for military activities. So he was trying to control people, and control these activities and fight. But what do the rulers do in this day and age? They encourage these activities. Um, yes, intoxication, gambling, and illicit relationships, or and meat eating is there everywhere. Yes. um, so Maharaj Parikshit, while he was touring the whole world, then he heard, he conquered various earthly planets. And when he was you know touring the whole world and conquering the whole earthly planet, wherever he went, he heard the glories of his grandparents, forefathers. And he also heard the glories of Lord Krishna. uh, and he also heard how he himself was protected by the Lord Shri Krishna, when he was in the womb of his mother Ashwatthama, through a weapon, Brahmastra. But yet he was offered protection by Lord Krishna. Mm. So wherever he went, he was hearing the glories of his grandparents and Krishna, and he was thoroughly enjoying those pastimes. And and this is how we ended uh, the discussion in the last class, in text 16, where it says that how Lord Krishna, uh, accepted various posts, ranging from chariot driver, president, to messenger, friend, night watchman, etc. All these things were, discussed by people wherever he went. Mm. So today we will start from text 17, but let me just quickly see. Mother Kumar Prabhu, Hamsini Mataji is here or not joining?
I haven't seen her
Okay,
join
you're
just
not.
as yet, but
Okay,
I'll keep an eye out.
yeah, yeah. Okay, just 1 second. I'll just switch off something. Okay, so from text 17 till the end of the chapter. But if someone reads, I will interrupt, and maybe we can discuss in between as well. Madhu Kumar Prabhu, so you
Yeah,
can ask someone.
Amit Prabhu can read,
Yes, that's good. Let me please share the screen. Uh,
and then after that, when we continue to read, Anuradha Mataji can read afterwards.
Text 17, right?
yes, please.
Yes.
All right. Now you may hear from me of what happened while Maharaj Parikshit was passing his days, hearing of good occupations of his forefathers and being absorbed in thought of them. The personality of religious principles, dharma, was wandering about in the form of a bull, and he met the personality of earth in the form of a cow who appeared to grieve like a mother who had lost her child. She had tears in her eyes, and the beauty of her body was lost. Thus, Dharma questioned the earth as follows. Dharma, in the form of bull, asked, Madam, are you not hale or hearty? Why are you covered with the shadow of grief? It appears by your face that you have become black. Are you suffering from some internal disease? Or are you thinking of some relative who is away in a distant place? I have lost my three legs and am now standing on one only. Are you lamenting for my state of existence, or are you in great anxiety because henceforth the unlawful meat eaters will exploit you? Or are you in a sorry plight because the demigods are now bereft of their share of sacrificial offerings, because no sacrifices are being performed at present? Or are you grieving for living beings because of their sufferings due to famine and drought? Are you feeling com- compunction for the unhappy women and children who are left forlorn by unscrupulous persons? Or are you unhappy because the goddess of learning is being handled by brahmanas addicted to acts against the principles of religion? Or are you sorry to see that the Brahmanas have taken shelter of administrative families that do not respect Brahminical culture? The so called administrators are now bewildered by the influence of this age of Kali, and thus they have put all state affairs into disorder. Are you now lamenting this disorder? Now the journal Populence does not follow the rules and regulations for eating, sleeping, drinking, mating, etc. And they are inclined to perform such anywhere and everywhere. Are you unhappy because of this? O Mother Earth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, incarnated himself as Lord Sri Krishna just to unload your heavy burden. All the his activities here are transcendental, and they cement the path of liberation. You are now bereft of his presence. You are probably now thinking of those activities and feeling sorry in their absence. Mother, are you the reservoir of all riches? Please inform me of the root cause of your tribulations, by which you have been reduced to such a weak state. I think that the powerful influence of time, which conquers the most powerful, might have forcibly taken away all your fortune, which was adored even by the demigods.
Okay, so I think we'll stop there, and because this is where the Earth deity will started to speak. Thank you, Amit Prabhu. Let's discuss what it is said here. Um, so, okay, so now the actual conversation begins from 17 onwards. While Maharaj, Sutta Goswami was informing the sages, now you may hear what had actually happened. Uh, Regarding this Shudra, Kali Yuga in the form of Shudra. Mm. hurting bull and cow. So dharma was wandering in the form of bull. Dharma means the religion. Religion personified was wandering about in the form of bull, and he met the personality of earth in the form of cow. Mm. We also hear that when the earth took the form of cow, um, when she was overburdened uh, by the demonic people on the earth, and she took the form of cow, and then she went to Lord Brahma, if you remember the story. And of course, then Lord Brahma with all demigods, they went to the shore of ocean and they offered prayers, and they heard that Krishna is going to come to the earth to offer protection to Mother Earth. Mm. Um, so here also you can see that earth in the form took the form of cow, and so she appeared to grieve like a mother mm, who had lost her child, and she had tears and her beauty was lost. So seeing the condition of the cow, dharma, dharma, the religious personality, the form of bull, questions. Mm. So in text 18, Prabhupada mentioned actually that Brahmanical culture is now diminished. Brahmanical culture means cow protection and cow and bull protection. Mm. Wherever there is a mistreating of cow and bulls, that means that is the sign of Kali Yuga. Mm. Currently, the administrators are encouraging the slaughtering of cows and bulls. Mm. Prabhupada mentioned that in the purport to text 18. Uh, and now Dharma, the bull, started to question and why she was so sad. Mm. Various reasons, it is mentioned here, but let me read the text 19. It says, are you suffering from some internal disease? Are you thinking of some relatives who is always in distant place? Mm. So, and then, um, and in text 20, various questions put forward. Mm. Are you lamenting for my state of existence? Because this bull had lost 3 legs. It is standing on only 1 leg now. Mm. And, uh, and it says that, are you in anxiety because henceforward the unlawful meat eaters will exploit you? Um, Prabhupada writes in the purport that in the Vedic tradition, um, these cows and bulls are always offered protection. Mm. Cow is like mother and the bull is like father. Mm. Um, and cow gives milk, that's why she's like mother. Bull means bull walks in the field and gives grains to us, and like a father. Mm. They always, the Vedic tradition always offered protection for cows and bulls. Uh, but in the current um, age, you can see that how both bull and the cows are mistreated. Mm. Um, and the another thing is that so demigods usually they are the administrators of this material world. They are also they are in the material world, but they are administrators. Mm. And they usually receive their uh, share, like their food in the form of sacrifice. When people perform sacrifice, and they receive that benefit. But in the age of Kali, nobody is going to perform sacrifices. Mm. So Dharma is questioning, are you thinking that demigods are not going to receive their share of sacrificial offering? Mm. Again, Prabhupada mentions in the purport that the best sacrifice in the age of Kali is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Mm. Um, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mm. Are you unhappy because the goddess of learning is being handled by brahmanas addicted to acts against the principles of religion? These are all symptoms of Kali. Uh, so brahmanas addicted to acts against the principles of religion. So sometimes they are only the name only brahmanas, but because they are addicted to the sense gratification, and they just do. mm, they act against the religious principles, and mm, so that's why by birth we're all shudras. uh, by training one can become a brahmana. Mm. And this is also good purport if you want to read the purport to text 21. Madhakumar Prabhu, you may ask someone to read this purport.
Yeah, Anuradha Mataji can read next, and after that, Meena Mataji.
I'll share this screen.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Well,
In the age of Kali, the women and the children, along with the brahmanas and cows, will be grossly neglected and left unprotected. In this age, illicit connection with women will render many women and children uncared for. Circumstantially, the women will try to become independent of the protection of men, and marriage will be performed as a matter of formal agreement between man and woman. In most cases, the children will not be taken care of properly. The Brahmanas are traditionally intelligent men, and thus they will be able to pick up modern education to the topmost rank. But as far as moral and religious principles are concerned, they shall be the most fallen. Education and bad character go ill together, but such things will run parallel. The administrative heads as a class will condemn the tenets of Vedic wisdom and will prefer to conduct a so-called secular state, and the so-called educated brahmanas will be purchased by such unscrupulous administrators. Even a philosopher and writer of many books on religious principles may also accept an exalted post in a government which denies all the moral codes of the Shastras. The Brahmanas are specifically restricted from accepting such service. But in this age, they will not only accept service, but they will do so even if it is of the meanest quality. These are some of the symptoms of the Kali age, which are harmful to the general welfare of human society.
thank you, Mataji. So what can be done? We are here, but we are saved now by Prabhupada. Mm. So the best thing is like reading Bhagavatam everywhere, wherever we go, we can see the effect of Kali Yuga. Uh, Wherever we go, influence of Kali Yuga. Um, but because of the mercy of Prabhupada, some or other, we are able to read Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, Vedic literature, and understand the value of it. And mm, uh, the best thing is that better get out of uh, this place sooner rather than later. Um, so the best thing to get out of his taking shelter of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Kalim Sattva Haram Pumsam. Kali Yuga is a thief. This thief will steal all the good qualities in people. This one thing is enough. Kalim Sattva Haram Pumsam. It will steal all the good qualities in people in general. So Prabhupada writes that this Srimad Bhagavatam, it acts as the light, or it acts as a boat if you are in the ocean of Kali Yuga. And how to cross over that ocean of Kali Yuga is to take shelter of this boat. And that boat is Srimad Bhagavatam. And who is the Karnadhara, what do you call him? The one who runs the boat. What do you call him?
Boatman.
Boatman, but there is a word, Karnadhara, there's a proper word actually. So that is Prabhupada. Prabhupada and Acharyas.
Captain of the ship or something.
Captain of the ship, that's the right word. Captain of the ship is Srila Prabhupada. We are very, very fortunate to get the association, some connection of Prabhupada in the form of his books and in the form of sound vibration. So you read this chapter will tells you that what does Kali means. The better thing is that we just take shelter of the Srimad Bhagavatam to get out of it. And let's move forward. In text 22nd, Dharma says that the so-called administrators are now bewildered by the influence of age of Kali, and thus they have put all state affairs into disorder. Are you now lamenting this disorder? Now the general populace does not follow the rules and regulations for eating, sleeping, drinking, mating, etc. And they are inclined to perform such activities anywhere, everywhere. Are you unhappy because of this? So there is, firstly, people do not follow any regulations. They don't obey the scriptures. Very tiny percentage of the population obey the scriptural injunction. But most people in general, they don't care about the scriptural injunction. And there is no regulation for eating, sleeping, drinking, and mating. And it says that they would do at any time, anywhere, everywhere. You can see this. And something interesting Prabhupada mentions here in the purport. Madhakumar Prabhu, you may ask someone, I'll point out something to read from this purport.
Yeah, Meena Mataji will do next, and then after that, Purushottam Prabhu, if he's around, he can read after that.
So, right.
Madhakumar Prabhuji, your voice is not coming through. We can hear Gaura Nataraj Prabhuji, but can't hear what you're saying.
Saying much, I'm just calling out names.
Okay, it's just I couldn't hear what you were saying. So I wanted you to know that whatever you're saying is not being heard.
No, I'm not saying much. Just Meena Mataji to read now.
His voice is a bit low. Meena Jatani Mataji, you may read from the highlighted place.
In this age, yeah?
Yes, Mataji.
In this age, people are indulging in such necessities of life without following the rules and regulations. And this deterioration of social and moral rules is certainly lamentable because of the harmful effects of such beastly behavior. In this age, the fathers and the guardians are not happy with the behavior of their wards. They should know that so many innocent children are victims of bad association, awarded by the influence of this age of Kali. We know from Srimad Bhagavatam that Ajamil and innocent son of a Brahmana, was walking down a road and saw a Shudra pair sexually embracing. This attracted the boy, and later on, the boy became a victim of all debaucheries. From a pure Brahmana, he fell down to the position of a wretched urchin, and it was all due to bad association. There was but one victim like Ajamila in those days. But in this age of Kali, the poor innocent students are daily victims of cinemas which attract men only for sex indulgence.
Thank you, Mataji. That
Thank you.
Prabhupada compares that how Ajamila fell a victim mm, to this, but here Prabhupada mentions that many you can see that many people are falling victim to this age of influence of Kali. And Prabhupada mentions in the last sentence that therefore by the influence of age of Kali, therefore by the influence of the age of Kali, everywhere, politically, socially, religiously, everything is topsy-turvy. I never heard that word. And therefore, for the same man, it is all regrettable. So age of Kali is everywhere. And that's why um, Prabhupada advised us that we start our day with a proper program and get up early in the morning and worship the Lord, chant Hare Krishna mantra. So that way we be better equipped for the rest of the day to deal any sort of the problem, any sort of problem that come in our way. So it is everywhere. Kali Yuga is everywhere. So Prabhupada, that's why systematically, if you see that he has given a program, systematic program, get up early in the morning, take bath, worship the deities, chant Hare Krishna mantra, and then hear Srimad Bhagavatam. If you're in the temple, if you're not in the temple, still we can hear. Many people hear Bhaktivedanta Manor or ISKCON London or Mayapur TV while they cook sometimes. Or while they go to their workplace, they can still hear. So that is the best way to begin our day. And if the uh, routine is disturbed, then we just have to bring it back, this routine. And we definitely, time and again this routine is going to get disturbed, but we have to just bring it back. So, and what else Dharma said, the bull. Now, the bull said, "O Mother Earth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari incarnated himself as Lord Sri Krishna just to unload your heavy burden. All his activities here are transcendental. They cement the path of liberation. You are now bereft of his presence. You are probably now thinking of those activities, feeling sorry in their absence. When Lord was here, Lord actually came to get rid of the burden of Mother Earth, unload the heavy burden. It is not the population, number of people. The Earth is not overburdened due to increase of the population. Uh, no, Earth is overburdened because of the demonic people. Hmm? Earth can bear any amount of weight, but cannot bear the weight of a demonic person. She feels heavy, quite heavy. Mm. So, and now, like, Krishna came here and he enacted so many pastimes, but now is gone. Uh, so, is that the reason you're feeling sorry and you're feeling sad about it? Uh, all these activities of Krishna. So the Prabhupada writes in the purport that They give us a chance for us to relish and go back to spiritual world. Hmm. Mother, you are the reservoir of all riches. Please inform me of the root cause of your tribulations by which you have been reduced to such weak state. I think that the powerful influence of time, which conquers the most powerful, might have forcibly taken away all your fortune, which was adored even by the demigods. The earthly deity in the form of cow. So this is the next section. Maybe Madhav Kumar Prabhu, can you ask someone to read this section?
Yeah, Purushottam Prabhu is up next, and after that, Madhavi Mataji, if you're still reading.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. The earthly deity in the form of a cow thus replied to the personality of religious principles in the form of a bull. O Dharma, whatever you have inquired from me shall be known to you. I shall try to reply to all those questions. Once you two were maintained by your four legs, and you increase happiness all over the universe by the mercy of the Lord. In him reside truthfulness, cleanliness, intolerance of another's unhappiness, the power to control anger, self-satisfaction, straightforwardness, steadiness of mind, control of the sense organs, responsibility, equality, tolerance, equanimity, faithfulness, knowledge, absence of sense enjoyment, leadership, chivalry, influence, the power to make everything possible, the discharge of proper duty, complete independence, dexterity, fullness of all beauty, serenity, kind heartedness, ingenuity, gentility, magnanimity, determination, perfect in all knowledge, proper execution, possession of all objects of enjoyment, joyfulness, immovability, fidelity, fame, worship, pridelessness, being as the personality of Godhead, eternity, and many other transcendental qualities which are eternally present and never to be separated from Him. That personality of Godhead, the reservoir of all goodness and beauty, Lord Sri Krishna, has now closed his transcendental pastimes on the face of the earth. In his absence, the age of Kali has spread its influence everywhere. So I am sorry to see this condition of existence.
Thank you, Prabhu. We'll move on, but let's discuss here that Mother Earth, in the form of cow, started to answer, and she said that, "O Dharma, O religious uh, personality, why I'm grief-stricken." Um, and she says, the cow says, you too were maintained by four legs once upon a time, but now um, you are maintained, you are roaming on one leg. Mm. All over the universe by the mercy of the Lord. When Lord was there, you too were happy. You too were maintained on four legs. So in this, when Lord was there, Kali has started after the battle of Kurukshetra, just after the battle of Kurukshetra. Although it has begun, but it was checked by the Lord. Lord stayed on this planet Earth for 125 years. Mm. So although it has begun just after battle of Kurukshetra, but it was checked by the Lord. Lord was still there. It did not fully manifest its influence. But as soon as Lord departed to the spiritual world, then Kali has manifested its influence. And here, um, Cow says that merciful Lord, when he was here, we are all happy. And that merciful Lord possesses so many of wonderful qualities. Hmm. When someone is very kind, when someone is very great, you remember that personality, you think of their qualities. Recently we were doing a remembrance, remembrance of Sarvajna Prabhu's mother, and everybody was thinking her and talking about her various qualities. Hmm. Here, um, Mother Earth gives 40 qualities of the Lord. Uh, you can see that Prabhupada gives a huge purport to these texts, and each quality is very explained very nicely. That we have been asked to surrender to the Lord. Uh, um, if I want to surrender to someone, I need to know their quality. I need to know more about them. Uh, I love someone, I get attracted to someone, I adore someone, I know their quality, their personality. When I know the person, when I know them well, when I understand well, then I act accordingly. So similarly, we can meditate upon these qualities, think about them. Mm. You can pick, which quality: kind-heartedness, serenity, mm, um, and cleanliness, self-satisfaction, straightforwardness, control of the senses, uh, responsibility, mm, uh, gentility, mm, determination, possession of all objects of enjoyment. Mm. Like that, there are various qualities mentioned, and the qualities are never ending. Mm. Um, Prabhupada writes in the purport that one may count all the atoms on the earth. They can't, they are not able to count the atoms on the earth, definitely. But however, uh, someone may be able to count the number of atoms on the earth, but one will never be able to um, uh, count the glories or the qualities of the Lord. Anantadev, Adishesh, uh, is describing the Lord's pastimes with his thousands of heads and mouths since time immemorial, but he is unable to do so. He is unable to completely glorify the Lord. Hmm. And so Mother Earth says two reasons: Lord's disappearance, she's thinking about Lord, and Lord's disappearance. As soon as Lord disappeared, the darkness came into exist. Age of Kali came here. Hmm. Lord Krishna has now closed his transcendental pastimes, and in his absence, age of Kali spreads its influence everywhere. So I am very sorry to see this condition. Can we move forward, Madhav Kumar Prabhu?
Yeah, do we read the, sorry, just the verses now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Translation. The 31. Madhi Mataji, is she present? I can't see her.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, can you read 31, text 31 onwards?
Okay.
Where are you?
I'm thinking about myself and also a best amongst the demigods about you as well as about all the demigods, sages, denizens of Pitruloka, devotees of the Lord, and all men obedient to the system of Varna and Ashrama in human society. Lakshmi Ji, the goddess of fortune, whose glance of grace was sought by demigods like Brahma, and for whom they surrendered many a day unto the personality of Godhead, gave up her own abode in the forest of lotus flowers and engaged herself in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. I was endowed with specific powers to supersede the fortune of all the three planetary systems by being decorated with the impressions of the flag, thunderbolt, elephant, driving rod, and lotus flower, which are signs of the lotus feet of the Lord. But at the end, when I felt I was so fortunate, the Lord left me.
Thank you. Just one second, Mataji. One important.
Okay.
So here, I was, Bhumi Mata, Mother Earth was saying, I was endowed with specific powers to supersede the fortune of all the three planetary systems. So everybody, because Lord Krishna was here, so, so
I
some,
don't know if there's some background noise, but
oh,
I'm hearing something in the background.
yes, I think everybody closed their mic now. Okay. So Lord Krishna was here. Earth was decorated with the footprints, lotus footprints of the Lord. And on the footprints, you would see the impression of the flag, thunderbolt, elephant driving rod, and the lotus flower, which are the signs of the lotus feet of the Lord. Mm. So she was decorated with these footprints, and everybody was glancing at her because Lord was here. So she, move on, Mataji, please.
34. O personality of religion, I was greatly overburdened by the undue military phalanxes arranged by atheistic kings, and I was relieved by the grace of the personality of Godhead. Similarly, you were also in a distressed condition, weakened in your standing strength, and thus he also incarnated by his internal energy in the family of the Yadus to relieve you, who therefore can tolerate the pangs of separation from that supreme personality of Godhead. He could conquer the gravity and passionate worth of his sweethearts like Satyabhama by his sweet smile of love, pleasing glance and hearty appeals. When he traversed by earth's surface, I would be immersed in the dust of his lotus feet, and thus would be sumptuously covered with grass, which appeared like hair standing on me out of pleasure. While the earth and the personality of religion were thus engaged in conversation, the saintly King Parikshit reached the shore of the Saraswati river, which flowed towards the east.
Thank you, Mataji. So
Thank you, Prabhuji.
this text 35 is a small purport yet beautiful. I'll just read it out. Um, so there were chances of separation between the Lord and his thousands of queens of the lords being absent from home. There were occasions uh, of the separation between the Lord from, or like, separation between the Lord and his queens. Queens were feeling separation many times because Lord was not present with them all the times. He was going to Mathura, he was going to Vrindavan, he was going to Kurukshetra, he was visiting other places. But as far as his connection with earth was concerned, the Lord would traverse the earth with his lotus feet, and therefore there was no chance of separation. So earth was never separated from the Lord. Mm. The queens of the Lord were separated many times when Lord was not personally present with them. However, the earth uh, was never separated because always Lord was walking on the earth. When the Lord left the surface of earth, mm, to return to his abode, the earth's feelings of separation were therefore more acute. Mm. And so this is how Mother Earth, in the form of cow, is feeling separation from the Lord. And in the absence of the Lord, she had noticed the influence of age of Kali. And that's how she was grief stricken. And this was the discussion going on between the bull, um, the religious personality in the form of bull, and the Mother Earth in the form of cow. Mm. And while they were discussing, Maharaj Parikshit had reached that place, and the next chapter would continue what would happen from there. So the points like here is that Kali, age of Kali. So influence of Kali can only be overcome by scripture, by Krishna. It is said, no, there is a famous verse in the 12th canto, very, very famous verse. Maybe some of you know that. Kalir Doshanide Rajan. You know, Madhav Kumar Prabhu, this verse?
Not by heart, Prabhu, but I've heard
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Kalir Doshanide Rajan. Kali is compared to Dosha Nidhi. Nidhi means like is a great reservoir or a ocean of faults. Kali is compared to ocean of faults. So in the ocean, normal ocean, what you would notice, you would notice water around you. Wherever you see, you would notice water. So in this Kali Yuga, you would see faults around. It's not a difficult thing to find a fault, isn't it? It's easy, very easy to find a fault, because dosha nidhi, it is the reservoir of the ocean, full of ocean of faults. Kali Yuga is compared to ocean of faults. And he says, yet always there is a solution. Our scriptures not only present the problem, they always give a solution. Yet there is one good quality. Kalir dosha nide rajan hastihi eko mahan guna. Yet there is one great quality, only one good great quality. Eko, not plural, just only one good quality. What is that? Kirtana deva Krishnasya mukta sangha paramrajet. If one chants the name of Krishna, this is great quality. Chanting Krishna's name, and then one will, even though uh, surrounded by ocean of faults, one can go to the spiritual world. So that is the medicine for this Kali Yuga. And we are very, very fortunate that we got that medicine. And let's take that medicine. Let's don't ignore that medicine. Let's don't ignore that medicine. Let's consume that medicine on a daily basis. Let's give this medicine to others. Let's share it with others. This medicine, you can give it, still you can have plenty. Huh? Uh, so, um, so, so we are very fortunate, and Prabhupada has said that he had given certain number of rounds. He asked us to do 16 rounds every day. If you're initiated, or if you're planning to get initiated, 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra. So if you're not doing that, if you're doing certain rounds, if you're not doing anything, you may start chanting one round of Hare Krishna mantra every day. If you're already doing certain rounds, you may increase your rounds. And if you are chanting 16 rounds every day, let us take it more seriously and try to chant more attentively. Because that is the real medicine for this Kali Yuga. And hearing and chanting will go hand by hand, side by side. Like, hearing will help the chanting, and chanting will help the hearing. When we hear, when we read scriptures and hear scriptures, then that increases our faith to chant Hare Krishna mantra very nicely. So I'll stop there. Anybody has any comments or any questions? Anybody wants to add anything to our discussion? Any realization they had?
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, were you going to say something? Then I'll speak later if you want. Another Mataji was going. Okay. So Prabhuji, from whole of this class, like I got a very strong feeling that you know, this Kali Yuga, from what the description is from, Parikshit Maharaj's time, and we are seeing that obviously we are fortunate that we can chant and we have got some medicine, but also it is so important for us to spread this, to save so many other souls from this degradation.
Yes, yes.
Because that, daily you see the cruelty, the hard-hearted people, and they have no consciousness, they don't realize, and they carry on creating more havoc in this world. So that's why our chanting, our spreading the name becomes one of our primary jobs. Haribol.
Yes, Mataji, thank you. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Yare deko tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. Wherever you go, whomever you see, you talk about Krishna. You hmm, you discuss about Krishna. That's why in our ISKCON, we have been asked to uh, spread this mission. In various forms. There is direct preaching and there is indirect preaching, but it all helps. Mm. Say recently we are carrying out some renovation at our house, um, and the plumber has been coming for over 2 weeks, and we started giving some prasadam every day at 11 o'clock sharp, and the plumber was actually shocked. How, because I asked him on the first day, when do you take the meal? He said 11 o'clock. And my dear wife, some or other, she makes everything ready by 11. And 11 o'clock sharp, he was very happy. So he said, I'm so glad that, how can you manage sharp at 11? No problem. We are eating, so we can share. So I can see that just he's a nice person. I can definitely say he's a very nice person. And by giving this prasadam, I can see that even, he became even more blissful and more kind. Actually, we also felt happy by giving prasadam every day. And today, actually, yesterday, we went to the shop because he liked a little bit spicy. We bought some special chilies for him. But unfortunately, he didn't turn out today. He had some other problem. Uh, so yes, so we can preach differently. Different people can in different ways, giving prasadam, giving books, or and chanting Hare Krishna in the streets, and various ways like support. And there is a direct and indirect way, and especially as a preacher, we should behave nicely. We should behave nicely. I mean, people should feel these people are genuine, kind, caring people. And then they automatically turn towards us when we preach. I noticed that. And Prabhupada did that. Everybody talks good about Prabhupada because he was so kind and loving. He had that character, Acharya. So sorry, I just shared something because you were talking about this giving to others. Yes, definitely that is our movement, and we should do. And
Prabhuji, actually, I could share something like that
sure,
as well.
sure.
I find that I have a housekeeper who, when she first came to my house, was a meat eating person, who is now, after 5 years, is a pure vegetarian. She does not even eat egg. But her duties are such that she has to come in contact with my deities and be doing service for my deities. She doesn't eat prasadam in my house because she just doesn't like to eat anywhere, but she just keeps, she's very busy, always working. But whenever I get the opportunity, I give her something that I know that she will have. But she daily lights the candle in my temple. She daily changes the flowers and checks. She daily offers the flowers at the lotus feet of the Lord. And just by doing her daily duties in my temple, I feel that there is a very big difference in her personality. And I had children who came over the holidays, and she used to have to see to my grandson in the morning. And when they went, she says, "Oh, I'm so glad that I can now concentrate on the temple. I used to have to make juice for my grandson," and she says, "I used to have to see to him. I'm so glad now I can actually just concentrate on changing the water for the Lord first." That was so
Wonderful.
nice.
Yeah.
So I like her to do it. So she offers for the food lots of times. She knows that everything has to how it has to be running. So it's a very, very nice thing when we can give them this kind of taste for wanting to do it.
Good, good. Very nice, Mataji. And thank you. Thank you for sharing that wonderful experience. And yeah, and,
Shall I add a quick thing? Sorry if you
sure, sure.
just we were going through the qualities of the Lord, and I feel it's nice to meditate about each quality. Maybe thinking of an example or something. I don't know whether it's goes outside the scope of the class or.
Um, Maybe we can do that later, Lalita Preeti. So I think,
Prabhuji, I thought this point of yours was my favorite in the class, because how do you surrender to the Lord? You surrender to a person, and the Lord is a personality, only when you know him. And how will you know him? So you will only know him when you try to find out about him. And I gave this example to a friend once, and I said, "Why do you trust your husband so much?" And she says, "Because I know what he's like." I said, "Exactly. And so you are surrendered to him." Surrender is a byproduct. But the first thing is that you have faith in the Lord. But you can not have faith in a person unless you know him. So these wonderful qualities of the Lord are and the way you said it, that we have to know him. So it's a good exercise to read the Srimad Bhagavatam that will actually take us closer to knowing the Lord that little bit more. And that will actually make our faith stronger. And when it makes our faith stronger, the surrender will automatically happen.
excellent. Yeah, yes, Mataji. That's what both Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. By reading these books, we know more about the Lord. We know the qualities of the Lord, and so the more we know, the more we get the more our faith becomes stronger. Mm. Just like we understand how merciful the Lord Sri Krishna is, the famous verse, Aho Bakiyam Stanakala Kutam Jighamsaya Paya Yatyapya Sadvi Lebhe Gatim Datruchitam Tatonyam Kamva Dayalum Sharanam Rajema. So this verse, in this verse, Krishna's merciful character was revealed. He says that Kamva Dayalum Sharanam Brajema. Who is more merciful than Krishna? Why should I serve someone else? There is no one more merciful than Krishna. Kamva Dayalum Sharanam Brajema. I would like, there is no person more merciful than Krishna. Then I will only take shelter of Lord Sri Krishna. And the reason he gives, because the witch Putana demoness, she tried to kill Krishna, but Krishna gave her Dhatri, position of a mother. Such a kind person, such a merciful person. Why should I take shelter of someone else, leaving such a wonderful personality and kind personality? Hmm. So when we know when we read and hear, then our faith becomes stronger. Hmm. That's what happens in the Bhagavatam. Hmm. That's what happens throughout the Bhagavatam.
Prabhuji, there's another thing that I could share actually with our class. I'm a woman, and I will obviously think and read things as a woman would. And when we read Srimad Bhagavatam or whatever we experience in our life, we take a little bit away ourselves that is closer to our own experiences in life. And I'm just an ordinary person. But when I was reading this, what came across to me when I was reading about Mother Earth and her plight and her sorry state of affairs is how does in our very ordinary world, how does a mother feel when her child leaves home for going to university? How does she feel? She feels very empty and very sad. Apart from being a mother, anybody, if you're in love with someone and that person has left you, how do you feel? You're certainly not an image of good health. You're looking a mess. You're looking a mess because, people get divorced, one person's left another person. The people are a mess. Here, Mother Earth is looking how she is because the Lord, who was her constant companion, because the Lord was crawling over her, running over her, and walking over her from the moment he was little to when he left the planet. And then all of a sudden he's left. She is totally doesn't know how to, in a common language, she doesn't know how to handle herself. She's so sad. So her sadness is showing, as it says, her eyes were damp. Her eyes were damp and her health was looking bad and her color was looking dark. They are just all images of that. So this is just something I thought I could share in the class.
Wonderful, Mataji, wonderful. Thank you for your wonderful realization. Appreciate
Hare
it.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Can I
Yes.
just, we said that how do we come to know Krishna? How do we have faith in Krishna? The one important point that comes to mind is, you can correct me if I'm incorrect. We cannot know Krishna directly. The only way we will come to know Krishna is through our Guru. By surrendering to our Guru and serving our Guru, because Krishna is, confidential thing of Krishna. He is the representative. So we have to serve that Guru and get his mercy. Then we will understand Krishna.
True. That is true.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is so important for people to understand that the purpose of taking initiation is it is a commitment. It is a sign of, or it is your way that you have behaved to take initiation is you have surrendered to the will of the Lord. You have surrendered to your spiritual master. So it's very important because he will guide you to the Lord's feet. And you cannot do this on your own. Anybody who thinks they are so clever. The perfect example was in the Bhagavatam, what we have just read, that Parikshit Maharaj had all these wonderful sages to guide him. So in my belief, if you have a spiritual master, he is actually going to make you achieve more than what you think you were capable of. So in Parikshit Maharaj's reign, when he did the Ashwamedha Yagya, the demigods, by the grace of the demigods, by their own grace, were visible to the ordinary people of the kingdom. And that is because Kripacharya and the other sages had helped him to do the things in the right way. So while Parikshit Maharaj was such an elevated soul that the Lord himself protected him in the womb of his mother, he still took the advice of such great personalities. And because he was taking this advice, he was achieving so much. It's like even when the military, when he was traveling, all his forces, they're showing how cultured, how rich, how wonderful, everything was so amazing. It is because he was achieving so much more because of taking advice from the Brahmanas, because of taking advice from his spiritual master. So the spiritual master is your key to surrendering to the Lord, to be able to achieve. So spiritual master, if anyone says, well, I know I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and they think, well, we know everything and the books are there, and you think you can do it on your own, actually you cannot. If you want to really go back to the Lord, then you need guidance from people. And spiritual master isn't coming to you on his own. It's when you pray to the Lord and say, please help me to come to you, he sends the spiritual master to you. You don't choose your spiritual master. Your spiritual master is sent to you by the Lord. Nothing is happening on its own. So we are very, very fortunate. And yes, to be able to have a spiritual master, to have that guidance. So that was I agree with Mataji saying you have to have a spiritual master. And that was my take on that as well.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So yes, let us serve Srila Prabhupada in our best of our abilities. Try to see how I can, like, every day you can just think, how can I serve Srila Prabhupada? And that is one question if we ask every day, and that should help us, all of us, by serving. Prabhupada mentions also in the Gita many times, there is the verse 241 is there, that one-pointed determination comes by serving the Guru and Guru Parampara. When we serve the Parampara, the whole Acharyas, they will instill faith in us, and our faith becomes stronger in Krishna. And that's why Prabhupada took his words, his Guru's words, very seriously. What was his Guru's instruction? That you go and preach to the Western countries. And he took it very seriously. And he did that. And of course, whatever we do is actually helped by the Lord only. We are only the, just actor, but actually everything is carried out by the Lord himself, isn't it? Even to Arjuna, Krishna says that nimitta matram bhavasavya sachi. You just act. I am actually killing everyone. I am doing doing it. You take the credit. I'm doing the job. You take the credit. So Lord will test us definitely, but if he can continue to serve, even in spite of, even in the midst of obstacles and calamities, or so on and so forth, and then Lord will really like us. So I think we went past 15 minutes. Amit Prabhu is putting something here. Let me say, which verse, Prabhu? In chapter 15, Canto 1, of departure of Krishna, Arjuna lost, yes, all his powers. Okay, you want to say a little bit about it?
No, I just want to realize that I keep remembering things. Good thing. And in Gita also there was a verse which says something like that: you focus, wherever you focus, you achieve. So
yes,
somebody who focus on Krishna will definitely get it.
Yes, somebody will focus on Krishna. So yes, thank you very much, everyone. And we shall, anything, Madha Kumar Prabhu, anything you want to announce?
No announcement, just officially we're starting our festival calendar tomorrow onwards. So if you're not doing anything else, then please join us for Advaita Acharya's appearance tomorrow, and then Bhajan Sandhya being the third Friday of the month. I just wanted to quickly share one point. It's devotees talked about serving the Guru and helping other people become devotees. But I think in the same spirit, we should always take time to support each other and ask questions. How are you? What is your spiritual life looking like? For example, whenever I go to Purushottam Prabhu's house, he always makes the point to ask me, Prabhuji, what time do you get up? How much time do you take for your chanting? And why do you chant in the night? Why not in the morning? So these kind of questions, we should take time to, check on each other's spiritual well-being as well. Equally important. Just that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely right. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Prabhupada had taken care, and that's why.
If we work like a team, we will succeed. If we take care of each other, then we will succeed.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Krishna.
Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai
Jai.
Gauda Premanandi. Hari Hari.
Hari Hari
Hari
Bol.
Hare
Hare
Bol.
Krishna. Dandavata.
Hare Krishna.